The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Breaking this afternoon, former NFL running back, actor, and broadcaster O.J. Simpson has died at the age of 76. Simpson, who stood trial for a double murder of his ex-wife and her friend in the 1990s, was reportedly in Las Vegas at the time of his passing. The former NFL player was reportedly diagnosed with prostate cancer earlier this year and was undergoing chemotherapy. His family issued a statement about his passing on social media, saying, "On April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer, and he was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. And during this time of transition, his family asked that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace." Additional details were not given. Well, let's talk weather. It is a DMV first warm day, and meteorologist Damon Matson joins us now with the latest check on the forecast. Damon, how are things looking?
Well, Mark, so far so good out there. We haven't been running into any bit of rainfall from this storm system yet, but that is going to change as we progress along into the afternoon. We're seeing that rainfall delayed just a little bit, but it only lasts for so much longer. Check it out. That satellite and radar loop, plenty of clouds, that is for certain. And we just had one batch of showers develop right along the tidal Potomac River down toward the I-95 corridor in Virginia, and that has been moving north ever since. And a little bit of this rain is about to start falling inside the Beltway into the DC metro there. Most of that rain right now is over Fairfax County, but that's all we are currently dealing with in terms of any wet or stormy weather. Now, taking a wider view of things, there is a lot still to come. However, rainfall is ongoing down along the coast of the Carolinas. That should miss us, but the center of this storm system is still back toward Kentucky, the Ohio River Valley, and there is plenty of rain and thunderstorm development going on around that, and that is slowly pushing toward us as we head into the second half of the day. So over the next few hours, we can expect dry conditions to continue, but by no later than 3 to 4 o'clock, we start to see those rain showers develop, and that will turn closer to a steady rainfall as we head into the evening and overnight hours. Now, there are going to be some thunderstorms in the mix with this as well. The severe threat, it's there today, as well as the heavy rainfall threat, flooding, strong winds. Two things we're going to be paying close attention to. We'll time out when some of these impacts could take shape across the region coming up, and a look at your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. A live look at here at noon. The first responders who played a significant role in saving the life of Sergeant Patrick Kemp are being honored by the Montgomery County Police Department. Kemp was reportedly hit intentionally by a driver on I-270 back in October 2023.
Really excited to see Sergeant Kemp here. It just lifts up my spirit. I know it means it lifts up everybody in the department's spirit to see him here walking and in uniform as he should be. And that is only true because of the heroism of those of you here today being awarded today.
And we're going to have more on Kemp's recovery and the officers being honored on our later shows that starts at 4. Well, developing now, another shooting rattles a northeast D.C. community, leaving 5 people injured and 1 person dead. 2 children are among the victims, and DC News Now's Liberty Zabala is on 21st Street with more on the search for the suspects.
Well, neighbors here say they feel unsafe after this terrifying shooting in their neighborhood. Police say 2 suspects got out of a car here on 21st Street and started spraying bullets. Now 5 victims are recovering at the hospital. Take a good look at your screen. Do you recognize this vehicle? Police are searching for this gray or light blue colored Toyota sedan in connection to the shooting. The car has dark window tints and black rims. Metropolitan Police does not know the license plate number, but said that the car had no front tags. Police say 2 suspects got out of the car on 21st Street and started shooting. They say 1 man was pronounced dead at the scene. Police identified him as 29-year-old Aubrey McLeod of Largo, Maryland. 2 men, 1 woman, and a 9-year-old were rushed to the hospital with gunshot wounds. None of them have life-threatening injuries. Shortly after, a 12-year-old also showed up at a nearby hospital with injuries from that shooting. Now police are offering a $25,000 reward for any information that can lead to an arrest.
I feel is real bad because I know there was a child There was a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old, and I have a daughter, so I feel like it's not safe anymore here with children and being just outside, just, you know, enjoying the day. It's really hard that all these shootings happening.
Now, police say there is no known connection between the suspects and victims at this time. They also say that car that they're looking for did have a spare tire in the front passenger seat. For now, in Northeast D.C., Liberty Zawala, D.C. News Now.
All right, Liberty, thank you. Later this afternoon, thousands of United flight attendants will rally at Dulles International Airport and nationwide. Their fight, better pay as executives' pay skyrockets. Attendants are picketing at 2 p.m. for what they say are long overdue fair contracts. And it comes on the heels of a release of the United's proxy statement showing that United executives received double-digit compensation increases in 2023, and the CEO's pay increased by 90%. Meanwhile, negotiators are returning to the table this week for their second federally mediated bargaining session. Well, a news conference on a grand jury releasing of a new report on last year's school shooting in Newport News is happening now in Ridge Neck. It accuses the school's former assistant principal, Ebony Parker, of, quote, shocking lack of response to reports of a 6-year-old with a gun. That child later shot his teacher in class, and the report came just one day after Parker was charged with 8 counts of felony child neglect, and it also accuses Parker of missing several opportunities to provide resources to the student who had a history of misbehavior. Well, a popular place for our region's LGBTQ+ community was the target of a bomb threat over the weekend, and it came just moments before it was supposed to host its first drag storybook. Northern Virginia reporter Max Marcella is outside of Freddy's Beach Bar and Restaurant in Arlington and tells us about the response from the community.
In the moments before drag queen Tara Hoot took the stage at this drag story time, the families that came to watch her perform had to wait outside Freddy's Beach Bar and Restaurant. They were waiting for bomb-sniffing dogs and detectives to finish their work.
It pretty much has the effect that's intended, which is to scare and intimidate.
Owner Freddie Lutz says he also got threatened at his home. But once he got the all clear, he wanted the show to go on.
One of my friends who's a cop said, don't let them steal the show.
The show finished without incident, but the investigation is ongoing. Arlington police wouldn't say much. Federal agencies are involved, but they offered their support to Lutz.
We do have a specific unit, so if individuals have concerns specific to the LGBTQ+ community, there is a group that they can correspond with.
And the county board called Freddy's the very best of Arlington. Chair Libby Garvey saying the work has to continue.
You're safe here, and we're going to make sure we're going to do everything we can to make everyone feel and be safe.
Lutz is planning another drag story time and hopes whoever made the threats hears this message.
You don't want your kids to be exposed to those particular storybook tales or a man in a dress, then that's your prerogative, and I respect that. And at the same time, I think people should respect these parents.
That was Max Marcella reporting. Well, as the weather gets warmer, Virginia State Police are raising awareness of an increase in motorcycle accidents, and they're offering its Ride to Save Lives program. It's a self-assessment course that teaches rider safety for motorcyclists. And Virginia State Police say that just this week, 5 motorcyclists have been killed, 1 in Alexandria, 3 in Henrico County, and 1 in Campbell County. 2 of those crashes are ongoing investigations, and you can register for the safety class online. Courses are available through October. Well, a startup food bank in Western Maryland is placing an emphasis on healthy lifestyles. The nonprofit is based in Williamsport, known as America's Hauling for Hope. And it says that too much donated food is processed and high in sodium. And they say that their commitment is to provide organic, nutritious meals for families struggling to make ends meet at the kitchen table.
The goal is to make sure that anyone who's got a disability or they're working during the time that the food banks are open or anything else that would keep them from being able to get access to food can do that.
What we're trying to do with the Greener Tomorrow program is actually we're going to build greenhouses and we're going to grow vegetables year-round.
Yeah, the nonprofit plans to expand services by providing furniture and building affordable housing. Well, stretching your dollar this afternoon, Walmart and Verizon are at the center of some massive class action settlements, and that means that you have a chance to get a cut of the money that they have agreed to pay. Verizon is accused of charging fees that were not advertised for wireless plans for nearly 8 years. The company agreed to pay $100 million to the settlement fund. Walmart customers say that certain food items were priced higher at checkout than on the store shelves. Walmart settled for $45 million, and the deadline for Verizon's settlement is quickly approaching. You have until Monday, the April 15th, to apply. The settlement terms say that you can get up to $100. With Walmart, you have until June 15th to file, and you can get up to $500 if you qualify. Well, it's Fan Appreciation Night tomorrow at Capital One Arena. The Washington Wizards are celebrating in a variety of ways. Fans have the chance to take home prizes and giveaways. The team is also offering discounts on food and drinks. Fans can enjoy a $3 game day special that includes hot dogs, small popcorn, pretzels, and a soda.